Installation instructions to install LUXAFLEX Evo Awnings. The following instructions apply to the installing of brackets for all forms of Evo. Determine the drop and mark. The distance between the brackets should be the ordered overall measurement from outside of bracket to outside of bracket. Determine the opening and centre the awning and then mark. Mark the fixing holes for the first bracket. Drill holes to suit the method of fixing determined by the substrate being fixed to. Brackets will come pre-assembled with idle and drive end components attached. The position of these components on the brackets will be determined by the fixing orientation specified on the order form. Screw the first bracket in place. Ensure the bracket is installed straight using a spirit level. Repeat the process for the second bracket. Use a string line from outside edge of the bracket to determine the correct location of the cable guide bottom bracket. The bottom bracket is universal and can be used for wall or floor mounting. Disassemble bottom bracket by removing E-clip and fix bottom bracket into place with countersunk 12 gauge by 40mm screws. Then reassemble the bottom bracket. Ensure the lip of the barrel is facing towards the awning fabric with 5mm of thread screwed into the cable bolt and that the floating end cap is fitted onto the cable. Feed cable through the top cable brackets. Pull the cable tight. Lock off with a 4mm Allen key. Ensure the grub screw is securely tightened. If the fabric is being over-rolled, then the extension plate is fitted to the inside of the bracket to enable the top cable guide to extend out to line up with the fabric. Return to the bottom bracket and tighten the tension pin by holding the wire with a pair of pliers and tension with a 6.5mm spanner. Return to the top bracket and trim the cable. Repeat on the opposite side. With a crank control, insert the crank gear pin end of the roller into the crank gear. Insert pivot pin into idle end of the tube, ensuring that the rubber O-ring is located into the second groove on the pin. Lift roller over the installation bracket and down, so pivot pin sits inside the pivot plate. Insert idle locking pin to secure the roller. Operate the awning to ensure tracking and correct operation. Lower the awning to a position where it can be reached. Tilt the bottom rail and insert the floating end cap into the rail. Repeat for the other side. If ordered, the optional locking bolts will be supplied pre-installed in the bottom rail. Lower awning to the bottom cable guide brackets. Slide locking bolt into the bottom cable guide bracket and apply tension by turning the crank. Open the headbox front cover by unscrewing the bottom front screw on the headbox end cap. Repeat on the opposite side. Pull out the idle end locking pin and remove the roller tube idle end first. For reveal fit, the screw is not required to be refitted to secure the front cover in place, as a clip is installed in the headbox to lock into place. Drill the headbox back plate. Always secure the headbox back panel through the installation brackets or spreader plate. If there is no substantial fixing points at the ends of the headbox, a spreader plate can be added. It can also be used on awnings over 3.5 metres wide as an additional centre fixing point. First, check the overall height against the order and mark accordingly. Determine the centre of the headbox over the opening. Position the headbox, check the level, install the headbox. With a crank control, insert the crank gear pin end of the roller into the crank gear. Insert pivot pin into the idle end of the tube, ensuring that the rubber O-ring is located into the second groove on the pin. Lift the roller over the installation bracket and down so pivot pin sits inside the pivot plate. Insert idle locking pin to secure the roller. The installation channel will be supplied fully assembled. back channel, floating channel, front channel with the top and bottom caps. Disconnect the front channel by leveraging pressure on the inside edge. If required, use a screwdriver in the shadow detail to assist with the disconnection. Pre-drill the back channels through the marked extrusion guidelines. On face-fit installations, use the lug attached to the top channel cap to locate against the bottom hole of the installation bracket. This will ensure the channel is correctly lined up. Use a spirit level to ensure correct alignment, secure with screws. Lower the awning fabric through the top channel cap approximately 300 millimetres. Feed the fabric into the floating channel and repeat on the opposite side. Lower and raise the awning to ensure the installation is square and working correctly. Once satisfied, snap on the front cover by leveraging pressure on the outside edge of the front cover. Insert the headbox front panel and snap into reveal clips or attach the screws to secure. The installation is now complete. Ensure you show the customer how to operate the awning and provide them with their warranty document, which is in the packaging.